All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here on the Harmless Dave channel, talking about real music and doing it in real time for a couple of real people out here, just like you and just like me. All right, so I'm going to talk about Robert Plant and Led Zeppelin. That's exciting, right? Uh, First, before I do that, though, folks, if you can hit the subscribe button and maybe like the video. Also, um, if you want to support this channel, it's kind of important for me to keep doing this at this stage. But Patreon, YouTube memberships, buy me a coffee. Typically, there are links in the description. Also, PJ Rock super chats. All right. If you want to leave a super chat, that is helpful. All right, now before I get to the Plant Led Zeppelin stuff, I wanted to share this. Now, if you're a classic rock person, like I've got this friend, the mysterious Mr. O, who follows me, really good guy, plays guitar, and plays better than a lot of people. I'm going to recommend that he and other people check out this album by HERIN, HERIN, Hiding in Plain Sight. Some really great guest musicians all over this. Martin Barr from Jethro Tull is on this. Alex Lifeson. Yeah, you know him, right? From Rush. The lead singer, former lead singer of the band Saga, is on a track as well. And this is almost like a cooperative, like a rock collective. And this guy, Chris Herron, has assembled some really great musicians here, and the music itself, though, is fantastic. So just open that up one more time so you can take a look at it. I'm thinking Chris reached out to me and said, hey, can I send this to you? And I'm like, yeah, sure, send it to me. And so he did. So again, I guess he's just independent, producing really great music. I did Google this, and I think the legendary YouTube channel called the Sea of Tranquility did a review on this, and those guys over there are really super smart. I'm not worthy to kind of hang with those guys because they've been dedicated to this kind of music. So when they do a review, I would trust it. I would listen to what those guys have to say, and I think they liked it. So. I don't know if they like me. I don't know if that really matters at this point because I've got like 3,500 subs here. So I'm just kind of, playing around here at this point and hoping maybe someday to get back to where I was, but I'm not holding my breath on that because I need to talk about non-political things, I guess, in order to be successful here on this particular platform. So let me get to the thing about Plant here. Robert Plant has a problem with Stairway to Heaven. This was on a website called alternativenation.net. Now, I think I've heard this before, but it's becoming more apparent that Robert Plant is distancing himself from his old Led Zeppelin days. Jimmy Page, too. Didn't want to talk about groupies recently, which was a very big part of the Led Zeppelin world and the Led Zeppelin experience. In fact, the groupies, I think, made a lot of money in some cases, sharing their story and writing books and doing public appearances. Hi, I used to be Robert Plant's #1 groupie and did a lot of things for Robert. Yeah, I bet you did. And people apparently were interested in that. I'm pretty sure I remember reading a story last year, which I was like, this is on a website for a classic rock station, and it was so not safe for work, but whatever. This is the world we're living in now. Even the commercials I'm watching these days, where they're advertising certain products for both men and women. And I'm like, can't they just not put this on television? Can't this stuff just be discovered by the people when they go to the store? I don't know. Anyway, Robert Plant was on Access TV recently, which, by the way, is the home of the big interview with Dan Rather. Haven't done the Dan Rather voice in a while. We're going to be talking to Tommy Shaw from Styx. He's going to tell us how much he hates Dennis DeYoung on the next big interview with me, Dan Rather. So he's talking to Access TV about Stairway to Heaven, and he says he's not fond of the 1971 track as he was when he originally wrote it. He says it belongs to a particular time. If I had been involved in the instrumentation, so it's all like a Jimmy Page thing, right? I would feel that it's a magnificent piece of music, which I think Jimmy Page would agree, and has its own character and personality. My contribution was to write lyrics and to sing a song about fate and something very British, almost abstract, he said. I mean, even to this day, I'm not sure what the song is about. So he kind of achieved what he wanted to there. He says, coming out of the mind of a 23-year-old guy, which is crazy to think about that. A 23-year-old would come up with those lyrics. It landed in the years and the era of 23-year-old guys. As time goes on, you might find that another period of your life has more substance. So, as much as I like it, I'm not wedded to the whole deal now. So, very interesting. Another reason probably Robert Plant doesn't want to play Stairway to Heaven. He did the song fairly recently after not doing it. And, of course, he's not able to sing in the original key. He did okay with it. I think the last time the band did it was 2007 when they did the reunion concert. But otherwise, I don't think Robert Plant is doing an acoustic mandolin version of Stairway to Heaven. And I'm going to say this, and it's probably going to be controversial, right? I think Stairway to Heaven is really overrated. It's really overrated, and it was really overplayed when it was popular. What's weird is it's not played all that much anymore, and I'm kind of thankful for that. Usually I'm like, hey, classic rock, you need to play Stairway to Heaven. There are a lot of other Led Zeppelin songs I would rather hear than Stairway. Back in the day when it came on, though, it was like the rock and roll national anthem. You would just stop what you were doing. And it's a pretty long song, right? Clocks in at over 7 minutes, if I remember. I don't know. It's a pretty long song. And I think there was an edit that was done, which was sacrilegious. And anyone playing that was typically ridiculed. And people would call the radio station and say, you can't leave out the guitar solo. You can't do that. It's not fair. And so anyway, Robert Plant right now has a problem with Stairway to Heaven. Now, I don't think he has a problem with how much money the song made for the band, and he has not said anything about groupies here in this particular article. So I don't know if he's given up the groupies or, he says the 23-year-old state of mind when he was 23, I'm sure. He was definitely all in as far as the groupies go, but maybe not so much for the stuff that now he says gives his life more substance, right, than back when he was 23. So anyway, that's the whole article. Just he doesn't like Stairway to Heaven the way he used to, and looks at the song as kind of immature. The era of 23-year-old guys. Here's the one thing, though, about that, and then I'll wrap up here. I don't think 23-year-old guys are coming up with lyrics like that, all right, these days. That was pretty mature for a 23-year-old to come up with all of that mystical, magical poetry and stuff that is all trippy. Maybe it's the substances they were partaking in at the time that helped that along? I would say most likely. Yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, probably a 9 as a possibility. So, all right, one more plug for this because it's really good, folks. It's really good, and I don't want to forget about it. And I hate when I do that, but here it is, right side up. The album HERIN, HERIN. This album is Hiding in Plain Sight. That's the name of it. And it's really good. Lots of special guest musicians. Probably go listen to it at least on Spotify. It's actually kind of hard to find on YouTube, but it is up on YouTube. It's just listed under release and not under HERIN, which it should be. So there you have it. Some good old-fashioned classic and progressive sounding rock. My name is Dave. Thanks for being here. Join me next time on The Big Interview with Dan Rather and me. No, I'm just kidding. That voice. Every time it's Tommy Shaw, and he's really upset about Dennis DeYoung. He wants to live his life free from Dennis, and he's achieved his goal.